Welcome to Gerald Johan van Waas Educational Channel. I would like to express something else from the Sound Inform book and method, which is a method with which to understand words, all words with a capital. This book is out on Trafford, you can check it out, but I will explain you one of the subjects which is in my book, and I will give a small introduction. Today I will talk about the astrology. Astrology has today is approached always in the same way, with the same goal. When I approach it from the viewpoint, exactly the same viewpoint as I approach the vowels and consonants and the words and the meaning of words. Because astrology, I'm absolutely sure, and I will also explain it in several ways in my book, is based also upon our perception, and it gives an order to our perception, not in a way that they believe in something. It's not a belief system at all. It's also not something superstitious. It is about a certain logic that they follow, and they made it especially based upon on the rhythms that they see in the sky, and they invented something which fits onto the sky instead of the other way around. This first proof was based upon the Chinese calendar, or Korean Chinese moon calendar, which I will show you in a minute. This is the scheme that comes with the moon calendar, and it has the 4 different directions, and all the stars that are met, or the star systems, the star clusters that they focus upon to recognize in the sky, so that they can find the moment, the correct moment, because it's all about momentums, so that they can recognize these momentums at the right time. When the moon passes these places, they know exactly at which time they are and what is connected with this time frame. And these time frames have a meaning. It's not the astrological signs that have a meaning, at least not in that direction. Now this is the moon, the places where they find the moon during the year. It can be different a little bit during, like you see, so it's wobbling again, so it's not always exactly on the same space, and they discover certain signs or stars that are clustered together in a certain way that it also fits with the correct time frame, and it also there's also a certain order of them. The order is also the order in which they make conclusions, and I will come to that immediately. I will take out just a few letters, or because they are also connected with letters. I have in my book comparisons to Arabic, Chinese, and ancient Egyptian interpretations of these, and Greek as well, interpretations of these 28 moon phases. And these are the star clusters that are connected with these phases, and they have names. They have Chinese names, and some of these Chinese names they fit very well with English words. So I'll take out these. So the first phases you can recognize immediately. Underneath you see the what is it called? The dipper. You remember, of course, the which we use to find the North Pole, and which we find where we search it into the sky. It's very easy. There is the big clock, actually, with which we can understand the position, our position. We can estimate our position most easily. So that's the first thing we look for, is this sign. We still do that if we want to find where the north is, so the North Pole star. We first look for this sign, and the sign is also the starting point of where the sky is turning around. So it is connected with a word. You can see also the three Chinese signs, which you can almost understand in the perspective of the 4 seasons. So it is there in spring. So it starts there in springtime. So it is so the first thing that comes out of it, the impulse that brings us to the new year. It is also the spoon, with which you can take soup. By the way, so it is first. It's also a clapper. It is like the big clock which goes into a certain direction, the direction of the new year. Almost in every language, the first letter is the A. And it is connected with, like you read in Hebrew, it is connected with the ox, which pulls the rest of the stars forward into a certain direction. There are different words in it and different emphases. I'll talk about that in my book. But the ox or the axis, it's all connected with each other. And then, of course, you give yourself over to this whole process. So it means first you look for the first direction. So the nan is the connection, and the to is of course going towards something, somewhere where you. This is also the Chinese word connected with the Chinese word. The new or new is the new direction, which is has started, and the newt, which again it's of nu. It's you know this word as well. It's a French word. It's connected with the symbol or the sign of the Virgin. The Virgin is not really. It's more like it's completely new. It's innocent, and it follows what it is. Which way they say it is. It has to direct. So it's a very open-minded, but it's also so it's not closed. It's closed in itself because it's modest, but it's a bit like a virgin. It goes its way very steadily, very slowly. On the top right, you can see the stars are. You can almost see them as signs in the stars. So the ox, which is pulled by, the car, which is pulled by the ox. It's almost in all the astrological signs, as well as in the language, in the letters, they're all connected. So in that way, you can already see even our language is formed. They found some connections into the stars, and it is not because they base their letters upon the stars, but it's just interconnected. All of it, the whole 4 seasons, the whole rhythm of the year is interconnected. How we start our process and how we continue our process and how we finalize our process are all interconnections. So the first 3 letters, I go a little bit deeper into it. So you see here the 3 directions, and these signs are not exactly what you see, always exactly what you see, but there are patterns which you can recognize, and the patterns, they fit with what it is about. So it's the circle which is found first, then it's the direction that is found next, and then the moment which is followed next, and so on and so on and so on. So it follows the whole alphabet of 28 letters, or of 28 phases of the moon. And if you don't go down to the east, you can also see like it opens up. But it's really, you go from one position to the next. So I will give a very good example here in the next slide, or in one of the next slides. I will give a very good example how this whole structure will end. So here are the 3 signs which are very good example to explain it very well. So further in the system, or further in the year as well, when you're starting to lose it a little bit, you no longer have everything goes smoothly. So you have to find where is everything going. So you try to find more structure in the end. So there's so many elements that the first thing you focus upon is actually, your focus itself. What is the focus? So the sign on top is like, you have a whole cluster of stars. Where are they directing? So where can you find the focus? What's the real most dominant direction? So it looks for the direction. It's almost vague. There are too many elements, like the letter so it's too vague, and you try to find the focus. This is the letter is the same idea. The astrological sign is the same. Astrological, it's of course one of the, it's not a real astrological sign, but it's a moon star cluster sign. The next one is, of course, if you no longer can find this direction, okay, then look for the most dominant directions. There are even more elements together. So which directions are most dominant? That's the next focus with which you can gain focus. So if there are too many elements, just try to find the most dominant of directions in the whole collection of elements. So if you can't find one direction, just find the most dominant directions. And the next stage, of course, if you can't find the most dominant directions, okay, see how much diversity there is. You see, this is the logic. It goes from one finding out a way to focus. It's our perception. The letters are also focus of our perception. We try to find the most dominant clusters, so the most dominant way to connect ourselves to what we see. So if you have too many elements, okay, at least we can try to find a diversity, which stands for the letter M, which connects the whole diversity of things. It's a whole mass, which I said in my last video. So the M here on top, I can combine it here with this cluster of M's, and we know some of the letters. There's some Dutch letters which very much express it very well, that you can understand very well. It's like the maze. It's a whole maze structure in which you can find a structure. I also, after the whole explanation of the astrology, I also compared it with the estimations of the predictions in forms that are used in China a very long time. So the O and the M I already have in this video. So the O is the moment where you see, okay, I try to look for the way it all hangs together, thanks to the spaces that I can focus upon. While the M really looks for the whole bigger structure, which keeps the smaller structures together. So it's a kind of focus. So in that way, each letter finds the most dominant focus, so that we can understand everything. So these kinds of focuses are exactly the same in letters as they also exist in astrology. And that's what I wanted to say in this video. More details about all that and the whole region of the 28 letters in the Chinese and Korean system are explained, as well as in the other versions of the 28 of the 28 parts, let's say, that are explained differently. I have a lot of systems based upon these 28 phases, but this was one of them. It's a small introduction. I hope you're a bit more curious. You can visit my website. It's there already, johanvanwaas.org. You can see here how it is written, and my book that is connected with everything I said today. So the explanations of this and a lot more you can find in this very thick book, because it's a book which is quite large, and it's all about vowels and consonants and about how everything is connected. So also with astrology, and this astrology is also taken in a very different way as it is approached today, as I just explained. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.